Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of No Countries for Otakus. So this week, it's gonna be a little different. It's gonna be definitely a short episode, and also Dwayne's here, but I have to go out of town for the weekend. Usually when we record, and it's clashing. So I'm doing a little extra episode here on my own, and from here, then next episode would be me and Dwayne as we record our usual episode, which would be over what we announced last episode, our normal detective. But this week we're doing a little different. Since this is a solo, I did watch a separate episode anime by myself, just to have an episode for you guys this Sunday. Um, and I hope you enjoy it, man. So let's go ahead and jump into it. Roll the intro. All right, guys. So, like I say, welcome to the episode of No Country for Otakas. If you're listening via the audio podcast, welcome. If you're watching this on YouTube, welcome. Hey, so this week we are going to talk about the main focus of this episode is to talk about an anime that I watched 22 episodes. Brilliant, brilliant anime. A little slice of life music. Your Lie in April. And man, this was a shot in the dark for me. I think I saw like a little clip on online. I think it was on TikTok. I saw a small clip of it. I was like, it looks interesting. It was a brutal ass clip too. And I went ahead and jumped in to watch it, man. And wasn't disappointed. Wasn't disappointed at all. Was not disappointed at all. So just to go over a summary of it, Kosei Arima was a genius pianist until his mother's death took away his ability to play. Each day was dull for Kosei, but then he meets a violinist named Kaori Miyazono. I think that's right. I'm pretty much butchering his name. Who has an eccentric playing style. His monotonous life was about to change forever. So yeah, we jumping into this one. Be sure to comment, like, subscribe if you're on YouTube. You can follow if you're on any of the platforms, Spotify. I think we're on Apple iTunes as well. Or you can follow, or if you prefer, you could download the app Anchor. And that's really where I post most of it, and it gets distributed to the other thing. But mostly it's on Spotify. You can find it on Spotify. I really enjoyed this anime, man. So first and first, we're gonna go over the story. So this story is very, very strong. It's a heavy. Kurose definitely was going through it in this anime. So pretty much when it comes to the story, Kurose he's in high school. I think it's high school. Yeah, or is it middle school? He's in middle school. Um, and when he was a kid, he was already deemed to be a genius pianist and stuff. He was winning all these competitions and stuff, man. But he was almost like a robot. He had all the stuff, man. Um, and one day his mom passes away and it breaks him. So he can't hear his own music. It's like a weird mental block when he plays on the piano. He's good for like a minute, and then it pretty much shuts off. He can't hear the music, so he ends up playing really badly and stuff. So he stops playing, and he's just going through the motions because music is his passion. He's going through the motions, and when it comes to him, he has his best friend. His best friend, which is a soccer player named Ryota, and his childhood friend, which is a girl that lives next door to him, is Subaki, and they're all going to the same school and stuff. So Subaki comes up to him and is like, "Hey, me and this girl named Kaori, are meeting up to have a little day. He's like, I don't want to be a third. He's like, well, Ryota is going to be there, so if Ryota doesn't show up, we'll all hang out. And if he does show up, hey, the best thing is that I won't be a third wheel. We can hang out. So he gets there and he meets Hirose, and it starts off. And it's funny because he's monologuing to himself when he sees Hirose is standing on this in this playground. She's standing on one of the playthings, and she's playing one of those flute pianos that those toys, and the world's like slowed down. The thing when you fall in love, if you ever fall in love, the world slows down. There's more color and shit like that, which is funny. And at that point, obviously, it does the whole joke because she's like playing, and he like takes out his phone. But at this point, she has a dress, and the wind blows, so her dress like slightly goes up, so she gets on him for being a perv. If you watch anime, them jokes. She's like all on him and stuff. So they all hang out and stuff, and then they end up going to a music hall. He doesn't want to go in that bitch because past memories with what's going on. And she performs, and she's a violinist, and he's watching everyone perform and stuff. She comes out there, she does her own thing. And it's funny because you can see the judges doxing her because she isn't playing the music as it should be played according. She's doing her own expression and stuff. And he's smitten by her and stuff. But she's talking to Ryota, at least for right now. So pretty much not to go too definite because I don't want to spoil it. I know when I do solos, I used to commentate the whole thing. So it's pretty much just showing him going through. She drags him. Eventually gets him to go back on stage to play. As the story progresses, and you can see it manifests how he's struggling. It shows the trauma of what went through when he was a kid, with mom passing, and what happened between him and his mom. The fact that he doesn't have a father, pretty much in this anime. They keep mentioning him, but he's never there. He never shows up. It's just like, oh, Dad's overseas. Dad gone, bro. Dad got a new life. Dad got a new life, man. At least that's my interpretation, because he never shows up. He didn't show up when Mom passed away. Mom's sick as fuck. She in a wheelchair and shit. Where the dad? Gone. Dude, nowhere to be found. He living in the house by himself. Pretty much. I guess he just sends back money and stuff for him to survive while he's in school. And you come across different characters as it goes on. Apparently, when he was a kid and he was playing, he wouldn't even look at the results. He would just come, do the chorus, and leave. And there's two characters, Emi and Takashi, I think. They're two kids that came up with it. Pretty much used to be in all the tournaments with him. And they vowed to beat him because they thought he was stuck up, because he never used to talk to him, right? He never used to talk to him and stuff. So it was interesting to see when they actually found out what kind of person he was as the anime progresses. And they end up being friends and stuff, so that was nice. I like slice of life, because this, like, a lot of time with like psycho thriller, sociological thrillers and stuff like that. It's always fast paced or high tension. Slice of life, even though this one did have some tension to it, story wise, is a nice progression. It's always like no one really going to get smite, like smacked or smite, stuff like that. But so that was an interesting one. Also, the best friend of his mom, she ends up being becoming his coach as when he gets back into playing piano and stuff, which was cool. So it was also interesting to see it from her perspective, because she saw the ugly. Now, the ugly with Kosei and his mom is brutal, man. And if you're older, no, I won't say older, but if you're a person that's dealt with any trauma or anything, man, you're gonna be screaming at this anime pretty much saying, look, Kurose, you need to go to fucking a therapist. You need a therapist, man. Like, this kid was so traumatized. It, and it manifested in the mental block in his playing piano, but you could just see this dude was struggling. And you're just like, go to therapy. But thanks to this girl, Kaori and stuff, the interaction with him, she helps him slowly gets back on track and on his way to healing. Now, the plot twist for this is that with her, she's also sick. And she ends up in the hospital and stuff. And that opens a new can of worms for Kosei. And yeah, that was rough to watch him battle that too, because 2 years ago he just barely got over his mom going through the hospital, being sick and stuff like that, and then this girl that he likes, because he also always constantly says my best friend's girl. He likes her, but he never does anything extreme to act upon it. But their chemistry is so good. Like, they'll go shopping and stuff when she was still healthy. There's a beautiful scene when they're in the snow. She can't walk at this point. She could barely walk at this point. It's a beautiful scene where he's taking her up on her back up the stairs. And then in the snow, she breaks down crying in his arms and stuff. So you could tell, even though she's supposedly supposed to be dating, like in love with the best friend, you could tell that, that they two, if it was a different circumstance and stuff, it probably would have ended up being boyfriend, girlfriend in high school, in middle school. I think it's middle school. I might be wrong. It was like, he was trying to figure out what school he was going to, and he was deciding to go to music school, which I think was high school. So that was pretty interesting. Like I said, when it to show the so then there's Tsubaki, who is his childhood friend that was with him through the whole thing, and she is in love with him, but she was originally trying to push him to play the piano again, right? And when it was funny to see her character move from trying to push him to play the piano to becoming jealous of him and the piano and the music and stuff, because she actually had feelings for him too. So much so that she started dating this other dude and would always constantly talk. And the other dude was a good guy. I can't remember the character's name, but he liked her, but she was like, hey, you want to be boyfriend, girlfriend? So they started dating, but she would constantly talk about Kosei. And the guy was like, he was laughing. He was like, look, man. So they eventually break it up, but he was like, look, I understand what's going on here. And no hate, I ain't no love lost. We gave it a try. It just didn't work out. Clearly got feelings for Kosei. So, we'll pursue that. So that was interesting to see how that story played out as well. I'm not trying to give away anything for that, especially how it ends. And she's a little, because she plays softball and stuff. But you could see like her, even though she's awkward towards him and stuff, you could see her internal struggle with him and his journey with music and healing, and her wanted him to be with her, and also the stuff she does just to make sure she's in position to be around, especially as they move from that particular school to separate schools, which is him in the music school, and she's trying to get into the school close to. Ryota, the best friend, like I said, he didn't really have a big story behind him. He was popular with the ladies, man. He was a ladies' man and stuff. He was with Kaori most of the time. But he was pretty much a soccer star at the school and stuff like that. But he was pretty funny, especially like when he goes to like concerts and stuff. He's like, oh my god. So all in all, when it comes to this story, man, I thought the story was strong, very, very heartfelt. You could see the stars, especially Kurose, his struggle, because at this point he's like 12, like 12, 13. And a little kid around that age should be having to go through something like what he's going through twice, and to be able to get back on your feet after that, because he could have quit. He could have simply quit, which he had originally done at the beginning. They gave a flashback of why he was so broken when his mom died. So that is a really strong point. Not gonna spoil that. That's pretty cool. His connection. He's a really good guy, and it was good to see him heal. His struggles on stage when he was competing, playing the piano. That was interesting to see. Everyone's perception of him versus reality, because everyone was like, "Oh, you quit, he quit," but no one knew. A lot of people didn't know about the struggle he had with his mom. His mom passed away and stuff. They used to call him names and stuff, call him his mom's puppet, the walking, that thing that goes click, click, click. He always just played the music on the sheet perfectly. So you would win competitions, but there was no like heart or anything to it. So it was cool to see that. His relationship with Tsubaki, the final reveal at the end with Kaori when she leaves a letter. I believe that the ending was pretty strong, and also his final concert, the way they visually play that, beautiful. So I pretty much carried the story there. So we're gonna jump into characters. It's gonna be short because I pretty much talked about the characters and story. But like I said, the main character is Kaori. Total opposite when you first meet her to Kurose. Vibrant, noisy, happy, stuff like that. She's a violinist. For the way she played the violin and in her first competition that you see her play, especially when she was what she did for Kurose, when she pretty much made him play, not made, but have him play the piano section of her violin in her competition. They bomb out, but you could see the how she was trying to help him get back on track, even though it was costing her competition and stuff. There was when it comes to, there's some side characters here that you see that they're there just to help move the story along, like the judges and stuff. Obviously, there's always someone in the crowd that, and in this case, it's the judge, so like a judge, one judge and two, that pretty much explains to the person that's not really a musician, a la me, what's happening on the stage. Like one guy, he's like, you could tell that he's playing with more passion, stuff like that. Because to me, it all sounded good. Well, there was some you could tell when Kurose was fucking up. You could tell that it wasn't good, but you could tell that it wasn't good. But it was good to have the explanations there through the judges and stuff. I forgot to say this. This comes in. You can find it in dub too. I think they're also going to plan to make a live action. Do with that what you will. There was this character here. She is the little sister of that guy. And when she first comes in, she's a very interesting character as well. But she's a year under him. Also his first pupil. So it was interesting to see him teach. This is further down in the anime when he's already pretty much at that point that he's somewhat healed, but he's still going through the rough patch with what's happening to Kaori. Kurose's, his arc is beautiful from the beginning. And they also strategically put the flashbacks really well so you can understand what caused him to be what he is when you finally see him at the beginning of the anime. And then also all the way to the end, his reaction to how one tragedy affected him compared to how it goes at the end with the second turn. It was good to see both contrasting. So good story. Really love what they did. Subaki is, that you got a lot of people have that friend that's been there all your life, and at the beginning she's like he's a brother to me. He's like a little brother, stuff like that. But to see her art going from playing that to her how she feels at the end and how they interact at the end was beautiful to see. Obviously, sometimes anime does the over top, especially when they're a tomboyish figure, they'll like kick you in the foot and shit like that. You're like, bro, why is she doing that? But because the whole point is she was saying that he doesn't look at me like a girl. Poor Kurose confused as fuck at that point. It was funny to see his he does have a line in there, he's like, girls are weird. Ryota, I already went over him. Jock. He's a cool character, but he does have when you find out the end, his role, it was kind of like, okay, I get it, but he was more a side character than Tsubaki. So he's there. He does play a very important role. He seems to be very wise because he does say a lot of stuff to Kurose to help him and stuff. But he's he's definitely more in that side character. Saki, which is his mom, she pops up throughout it, even though she's dead, like visualization and stuff like that. Hiroko, which is the best friend of the mom, that ends up being his teacher. A little bit into the anime and stuff. She shows up. She pretty much she's also a pianist as well. She's there to support him as he makes his way back on stage and preparing for the competition that he plays, that he's competing in as the time jumps throughout the story. So that was pretty cool to see. She's pretty much like a second mom. So it was she's struggling as well because she's seeing him struggle, and also the sister, seeing her struggle as well. She was going through a little something, but she does come through with some advice and stuff for Kuroshi and the young buck here that plays a vital role. People listening, I should have probably looked up her name. That is too funny. Let me see if I can find it here, so you don't just hear me saying young buck and stuff. Nagi. Her name is Nagi. There you go. So yeah. All right. So music. It's a music anime, literally about pianists and stuff. So they were wrecking the classical music with the piano and stuff. Brilliant. It was so well done, especially with the violin sections and stuff. And it's fun to, one thing I like about anime, man, they make stuff that you wouldn't really be interested in. I'm not a classical music guy. I've never really been into pianos and stuff or violins, but like anime will make like some anime will make you like look at it and be like, this shit's dope. The same way if you're not into volleyball, you watch haiku. When you watch haiku, man, you be like, man, volleyball is shit. The way them players was playing and stuff, like the moves and stuff they were doing, it's always exaggerated. One outs and stuff like that for baseball. What was the Major? That was a good baseball anime. Night of the Box, which is about soccer or football. Ice Shield 21, which was a little goofy, but that was about American football, so that was cool to see. So like one thing about anime, it'll take a particular story most of the time. Obviously, you can't talk all of them. Amplify it to the extreme that you're just like, yo, this shit dope. And this anime does it. Obviously, they're playing pianos and stuff, but the visuals, which I'm gonna talk about in the next session, or for animation, the way they were showing stuff, visual representation to explain the story to the audience was fucking brilliant. So music-wise, if you're into classical music, the way they played the piano and stuff, I thought was brilliant. So you gotta give it props, man. Then finally, our last session in the discussion section is animation. Um, Animation, man, brilliant. No, one thing about slice of life anime most of the time is that it really, really does a good job of emphasizing on the animation. Most of these slice of life stories are low volume, so they're able to do it all in one season. So they're able to focus on a lot of the really good aspects of the art. And the way they drew just the hands moving across the keys on the keyboard, um, Kaori playing the violin, the way she was playing the violin and dancing earlier in this day before she really got ill was pretty fucking cool. Another visual animation choice that they did was showing, because the whole thing is that Kurose couldn't hear his own notes when he played. He'll hear fine if he hears it over radio or hears someone else plays. But when he plays, there was always a issue that after, like I said, after a minute stuff, he would start like can't hear his own notes and stuff because of the trauma. It's mental block. So the way they visualize it is that he would be drowning. And the notes on the paper would just fucking like dip, like fucking start vanishing and shit. So that was really cool to see how they portrayed that in the anime. He's hitting the thing, and it's because you're underwater. He's hitting the keys. He can't hear, so he's playing it from memory. But because he can't hear himself playing stuff, it was all over the place, and everyone was like, "What the fuck's happening?" and stuff like that. And there was a really powerful scene, which was his first competition back by himself. He gets disqualified because he stops, but he starts to play, and he's playing good, and he starts to drown. His mom's visuals is popping up everywhere, and he's totally butchering the song. And then he stops, and at that point, you get disqualified because he can't stop. He stops, and then he like refocuses and stuff, and the water drains away, and he's starting to hear the music, and he starts playing, and you can see him going through his healing process on the stage. The judge gets on his ass for that later. He's like, "Hey man, like this is for serious musicians, bro. This ain't for you to work on your problems. Fuck that guy. We trying to make a story here." But that was a really good animated scene. The visuals and stuff, they're brilliant. So that was fun to see here on the thing. I could just imagine if you had read that in the light novel and stuff. Yeah, so that was really good. That was really good to see. Very powerful scene there. And there's some other, especially the end. There is the end scene, because the promise is while she was in the hospital talking about Kaori is that she will get better and play with him one more time. So at the end they play together. I'm gonna leave it at that. So when you see how it comes to be, you're gonna be like, damn, that was beautiful. But that whole visualization, because you're watching it and you're just remembering all the times before of how he was falling underwater and stuff. But also because when he was a kid, 2 years prior before his mom died, he was always robotic. So at the end, with all the passion and stuff, when he was playing I think it was the finals of the competition, and the way they visually represented it with the petals from the trees, and man, it was great. It was great, and everyone was panicking because of something that happens. I'm gonna just leave it at that. It's so hard to tell. I want to spoil it, but I don't want to spoil it as much. Minor spoilers. So animation was great, and like I said, the way they put the keys, and then like even the side characters got their little piece too when they were playing, and you could see it was also visually represented by the crowd's reaction, and they focus on focusing on the crowds and how they interact to the person's music. They're like, wow, or like, what the fuck's happening? Why it sounds so bad? Like that, man. They really put the work. They gave the animators time. I know they be working them animators hard as hell in Japan. Brilliantly. So that's pretty much it for the discussion session. Some little information on this if you're interested. So the manga came out in 2011, ran to 2015, 11 volumes. So if you like manga, 11 volumes, good read, easy read. There was a one that came out in 2016, which would be the like an extra chapter. There's only one volume of that, so that's definitely a quick read. The anime series came out in October 9th, 2014, and ended in March 19th, 2015. So it was pretty much going along with the manga. 22 episodes. Easy work. There was a light novel that came out in 2014, which was one volume. And then there was the OVA, which was 23 minutes long, and that came out in 2015 in May. So that came out shortly after the anime run ended and the manga. And pretty much it's just a collection of everything that happened into one episode. So if you watch the anime, you don't really need to watch the OVA. So with that said, let's go ahead and jump into ratings. Yeah, it's so weird to say ratings and I have to in here be like rating. All right, so the ratings as usual, we go over story, character, music, animation, and overall. Just me today, so I'm gonna go through this, pretty quick. Like I say, it's gonna be a short episode. Probably won't even reach an hour for this one. So when we look at story, brilliant story. I was worried that it was going to drag on too long, but then when you realize the time jumps and stuff, and like the flashbacks and stuff like that, none of the episodes really felt wasted per se. Like sometimes you watch a show and there'll be like an episode, it's like, why they even show this? Every episode is imparted to the plot of the story. So that being said, strong story. You saw with all the character arcs and stuff. The main character, Kurose, his development. Kaori's story. Tsubaki to a lesser extent. Even Hiroko, which is his teacher, her impact in their stuff. So strong story, man. I'm gonna give that a 5 out of 5. For characters, I thought all the characters were great. They all impacted the story in a unique way. Even the Emi and Takashi, who were just his rivals. His little sister, her impact in the story as well. So all of that, all those characters played a very vital role into this story, and it's hard to knock him for anything. Obviously, there are always characters that pop up around that you're just like, is she really important? But yes, every character that played a major role in this anime was very important. Even the crowd at the concerts were playing a very vital role. So I'll give them a 5 out of 5. Music, 5 out of 5. I mean, it's a music anime. If you a musical anime and you fail at music, are you really a musical anime? You get a 0 for that. So I'll give them a 5 out of 5 for music. Just watch it. You'll hear brilliantly played and stuff. Animation, can't rave about the animation. I love how they represented different aspects of the struggle. They really did a lot of detail, especially when they were playing on stage. That's where obviously it shines. You expect that from an anime about pianos and stuff like that. Him moving his hand across the keys, showing inside the piano as the keys hit, as the hammers hit the strings to make the noise. When he was struggling, he was going underwater, and the notes came off the page. At the end with the moment with Kaori and Kurose, brilliant. I got nothing on the animation, man. I don't think it was even. The only time is like when they did the when they do like the joking moments. Obviously with the eyes and stuff. There was a little girl in here, the daughter of Hiroko. Like they never drew her face out. She just had dots for eyes. It was so funny to see. I was just like, why didn't they just give her a full face? I never understood why they did that. That was the only thing. I was like, what? Like, hey, we ran out of budget. Just give her some dots for eyes. So, animation, I'll give it a 5. So, how 5 right across the board? Overall, if you get 5 across the board, overall, get a 5. You know what happens? Run the fucking clip. Oh man! So be sure to check this out, man. This was a really, really good anime. Definitely came out of nowhere for me. Like I said, I didn't even know it as it popped up. I saw it come up on TikTok, a little small clip with the interaction with Kurose and his mom. I was like, damn, bro, this is brilliant. I want to watch this. So, jumped in, checked it out, and I was not disappointed. This is a really high one. Up there with a lot of good ones we saw this year. Me and Dwayne that we talked about. So, hey, you're looking for something to watch, something short, 22 episodes. I got one here for you, man. Definitely check out Your Light in April. Yeah, definitely check that out. Definitely worth the watch. 5 out of 5, man. 5-star stamp approval from No Country for Otakus. All right, so I'm gonna jump in for a little shoot the shit. Not much going to go on here. Just gonna go over some stuff that I'm looking forward to. Some other stuff that I've been watching. So here with me. Let's go ahead and jump into shooting this shit. All right. So let's what other stuff I've been watching here? 86 season 2 came out. I did mention that in a previous solo anime, and honestly, man, the second season is strong. It is strong. It's 17 episodes in. A lot more action after that initial, I think it was initial 11 episode arc. So it continues on. Or was it 12? Oh, well, yeah. Okay, so it was 11. So from 12 on to 17, a lot more action. Really good story. Man, it gets wild, bro. Especially when you find out why the Legion is attacking everybody and stuff. So you find out the truth about that. So be sure to catch that, man. 86, very good anime. Definitely worth the watch. So be sure to catch that. What else? I've been watching. I'm going to catch Ferna Pirate Princess. I haven't started it yet though, so I can't really comment on it. But the synopsis is pretty cool. It's a Crunchyroll original. I guess Fena Woodman remembers little about her childhood, orphaned and raised as a servant in brothel. Wow. Her life changes when she escapes to an island of pirates, where she discovers the truth behind her family. And Fena, being the only one to be able to unlock her family's secrets and the form of crew of female pirates on her tail, she must take her place as captain for samurai crew or a high seas adventure. That's pretty good. I think it's only 12 episodes, so definitely gonna knock that out sometime next week, and I'll talk about it more on shoot the shit for the next episode. But definitely looking forward to that. High school prodigies? No. I think that's pretty much it for what I've been recently watching. There was one more I was watching. Oh, the world's finest assassins gets reincarnated in another world as an aristocrat. It's cool to see him operate and stuff, but I'm gonna be real with you, man. I'm tired of these animes, man. These type of animes where the person gets reincarnated or transported into another world. It's very popular now. I know there's a name for those type of anime, for that genre, and I've watched my fair share. I think I've burnt out on that particular murder mission. I've burned out a bit on that. I've already started this one, so I'm obviously watched this to completion. Like the one I watched before this was that time I got reincarnated as a slime, which just wrapped up its most recent season. But that's another transport into the another one, and there was a few others that I watched. This one's it's solid. I wouldn't tell you, he's a harem, so he has a bunch of girls with him, stuff like that. He has his little jokes. The guy is like overly serious because he's an adult in a kid's body, in a way. For now, as he grows up, gets pulled. Pretty much, he gets pulled after he dies in the real world because he's like an assassin that's been an assassin for years. He's planning to retire and become a teacher. And yes, they kill him, man. And I'm gonna be real with you. The organization that killed him was ruthless with it, man. That motherfucker shot that dude out of the sky in a fucking fighter jet. And he was on a commercial plane, so they killed a whole bunch of people. And then a goddess comes up to him and is like, hey, you need to kill this hero. Because after he kills the demon lord, he pretty much destroys the world after. So you need to kill him. You have 18 years. So it's pretty much showing him from a kid, him training himself and preparing himself in this world to be able to kill the hero in 18 years. So, and it was interesting because he answered, do you want me to save the world or do you want me to kill the hero? She was like, I want you to save the world. So there's a chance that he doesn't have to kill the hero to save the world. So that was pretty cool to see him going on and he's doing his assassin stuff because he ended up being in an aristocratic assassin family. So he kind of got the luck of the draw there. And there was also like little flashes in between where it shows other people that the goddess used, tried to like send to that world to defeat the hero. And it's interesting to see how each of them like failed. So that was pretty cool. So yeah, that's another one I'm watching right now. Let me put it on my watch list so I don't lose it. Okay, and the final thing I am watching, and this one's on Funimation. All right. So yeah, so on Funimation, another one I'm watching. All right, everyone watching My Hero Academia. I think that one just finished. Got a lot. Oh, Ranking of Kings. This one here is pretty fucking good so far. I think episode 6 has dropped, so I'm gonna catch that. I haven't watched it yet. Pretty much it's about this kid, Prince Fuji, unable to hear or speak. He sets off on an adventure to prove that he's worthy heir, because pretty much he was supposed to be the king, but his younger brother, he pretty much usurped the throne from him with the help of his stepmom and some other people. And he teams up with this shadow assassin called Cage. Pretty much it's just a little shadow thing. It's pretty cool to see. So putting his shame on this adventure so far, as he tries to get stronger and stuff. Pretty solid anime so far. A little simplistic on the animation front, but some cool fights. It's like straight to the point. Interesting characters and stuff. So that's another one I'm definitely checking out right now, and I'll tell you to check it out as well. And finally, oh wow, that's there. Finally, oh shit, Cowboy Bebop came out. All right, I didn't even know it dropped. Holy shit! Holy shit, it dropped. That's what's up. 10 episodes, an hour each. Hey, yo. Hey, we find that out right here together. So yeah, what I actually came here to talk about though was Arcane. Season 2 of which you're out yet? Yeah. Arcane, man. Arcane, this is sort of League of Legends. This show is fire, man. Definitely check that shit out. You know what I mean? It's pretty good. It's pretty good, man. Especially that girl there, the girl in the blue. She a fucking psychopath. It is brilliant. I have enjoyed the hell out of it, man. So be sure to check that out. Shit. That's what's up, you know? Definitely having fun with that. Arcane, man. And I think the final 3 episodes drop on the 20th. So tomorrow, the final 3 episodes drop. Kid is another good show. It's a movie, though.
Who are you?
There was only one part of it. I was like, why did they even do that? Like, she steals a car.
What's wrong?
The car has neon, and it looks really, really cartoonish. She drives through the city, trying to run from
Grand Honcho,
run from the police and stuff.
Family in
But outside of that, man,
I know where he is.
I really enjoyed that. So it's based in Japan. It was the lead, the star of the movie is the woman from. She plays Huntress in the Harley Quinn movie, the first Harley Quinn movie.
I go where you go.
I think she only has one. How did I get 2? Yeah, her Harley Quinn movie. When she teamed up with the Birds of Prey. Ah, damn. I don't know why that took so long to come to me yet. So she's in Birds of Prey. She is a total badass in here. Pretty much, she gets poisoned and she goes all the way to find out to kill who did it to her. And then there's a plot twist at the end and stuff. So really, really good show. Army of Thieves is pretty good too. If you watch Army of the Dead, pretty much it's a prequel / concurrent story with that. Well, it's a prequel because it ties directly into the beginning of Army of the Dead. Really good show. Really good movie. And that's pretty much it for movie wise. I think I haven't watched Red Notice yet, so I'm gonna definitely check that out this weekend along with fucking Cowboy Bebop. I didn't even know that bitch dropped, man. That's crazy. I'm pretty excited for that. I'm waiting for that, man. I always get Call Me Can't Communicate is another really good anime too. It drops weekly though, 1 episode per week. Whoop. No, back. You can't do that. You can't do that. Copyright. But Call Me Can't Communicate. That's a really good one. She has extreme social anxiety, so she can't communicate. Like, she doesn't talk. And the guy that sits next to her at school is helping, and he's like average doing. No one in the class really likes him because there's nothing outstanding about it, but they all worship Komi, like weirdly worship her. A girl that has said nothing to him. So he's helping her. Her goal is to make 100 friends. But she doesn't really have any friends. She just has like fans. So he's helping her do it. And he's going through it while he's doing it, man. And last episode, before that one, it just dropped because I haven't watched a recent episode either. The last episode, she speaks to him, but it's like really breaking because she's struggling to get the words out. She's like, I would like that, like stuff like that, the way she said it. So it's pretty cool. There's another anime there if you're looking for something else to watch. Nice slice of life thing. But it is weekly, so it's still going on right now. So be sure to catch that. And that's pretty much it for the rundown on stuff that I'm watching here in Shoot the Shit section. Ain't really much I could say because usually I have Dwayne here to bounce stuff off of. I'm really trying to work not to spoil too much in the actual anime section. That's why it was like a little chaotic there. But I appreciate you if you come by. Be sure to comment, like, subscribe. Give me ideas on stuff to do when I am by myself. And if you're listening to this on like audio podcasts on Spotify, Anchor, or anywhere you listen to your podcast, be sure to follow there too. Really enjoy doing this, my little escape from my weekly stresses. So, with that, without further ado, I'm not going to keep you here any longer. I appreciate you dropping by, guys. And as always, stay safe out there. Peace.